Ladies and gentlemen, success is not something you stumble upon. It's something you prepare for, act on, and attract by the person you become. And here's the secret. You don't wait to be successful to act successful. You act like you're already successful, and the rest catches up. You see, attitude isn't a result of success. Attitude is the foundation of success. Your habits, your tone, your walk, your schedule, your preparation, these things don't appear after you've made it. They create the path that leads you there. The world responds to confidence. It responds to preparation. When you walk into the room like you have value to give, guess what? People believe you do. When you treat your work like it matters, guess what? It starts to matter. And when you act like you're already living your vision, the vision becomes more than just a daydream. It becomes your next reality. But let me be clear. I'm not talking about faking it. I'm talking about becoming it. There's a difference between pretending and preparing. Success is not about illusion. It's about intention. It's about saying, I'm not there yet, but I'm showing up every day like the person who is. Act like you're already successful. Dress for the role you want. Show up on time. Speak with clarity. Deliver with excellence. Take responsibility before you're asked. And do it not for applause, but because it builds the kind of character that sustains success, not just creates it. If you want the world to take you seriously, take yourself seriously first. That's the first sale you'll ever make, and maybe the most important one. And once you've made it, keep showing up, keep building, keep refining. Because when you act like you're already successful, you invite the world to meet the version of you that's already on the rise. Success begins long before the rewards ever show up. It starts quietly, internally, right between your ears. If the mind isn't ready, nothing else can be. That's the foundation. The moment you decide that your life can be different, the moment you truly believe that you're worthy of more, that's when things begin to shift. Now, people often say they want success, but their mindset is stuck in survival. They dream big, but they think small. They talk about goals, but operate in fear. And here's the truth. You can't plant seeds of greatness in soil poisoned by doubt. If the mind doesn't change, the results never will. You've got to see yourself differently. Start thinking like someone who adds value. Think like someone who deserves to win, not just hopes to, because how you see yourself determines how you show up. And how you show up determines the kind of doors that open or stay closed. Don't wait for life to hand you the winning ticket. Get your mind right first. Prepare yourself. Begin every day with the attitude that you are on your way, not someday, but now. Feed your mind with ideas that stretch you. Associate with thoughts and people that lift you. Because the mind is a garden, and if you don't plant something useful, something useless will grow. If you want to change your life, don't start with the bank account, the car, or the job title. Start with the belief system. Get the mind to rise, and soon everything else will. That's how it works. Inside first, then outside, always. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you're ready for. That's the law. Preparation isn't a luxury. It's a requirement. You can wish, you can hope, you can talk all day about your goals, but until you're prepared, you're not going to hold on to the things you're chasing, even if you happen to catch them. Think about it. The harvest doesn't come because you want it to. It comes because you worked the soil, planted the seed, watered it daily, and kept the weeds out. That's preparation. And it's not exciting. It's not glamorous. It's usually quiet, done behind the scenes with no applause. But that's where the future is built. Too many people are waiting for opportunity to knock, but they haven't swept the porch yet. The house isn't ready, the lights are off, and when the moment comes, it passes right by because they weren't prepared to receive it. Preparation builds confidence. It sharpens your skills, strengthens your discipline, and raises your standards. And when preparation meets opportunity, it doesn't look like luck. It looks like excellence. But it only works if you're doing it before. The results show up, not after. Before. You don't become the champion in the ring. You become the champion in the gym. You don't become the leader in the spotlight. You become the leader in the shadows, studying, growing, building strength when no one's watching. So the question is not, are you ready for success? The real question is, are you preparing like it's already on its way? Because if you are, when the moment shows up, you won't have to rise to the occasion. You'll just rise to the level of your preparation. Your future isn't determined by one big moment. It's shaped day by day by the small, repeated choices you make when no one's watching, the habits, the little things, the daily disciplines. You don't drift into success. You build your way there brick by brick, routine by routine. You see, people want to change their lives, but they don't want to change their habits. They want the rewards, but they resist the routines. And that's the trap. Because your life right now, good or bad, is the sum total of your past habits. Every result you have today, your income, your energy, your relationships, is tied directly to what you've been doing consistently over time. Success doesn't show up like a lightning bolt. It arrives slowly through patterns, and the patterns are always predictable. If you have the habits of a winner, success is just a matter of time. If your habits are weak, your results will be too. That's not judgment. That's just cause and effect. So ask yourself, what do I do each day? What do I read? How do I start my morning? How do I end my night? What do I feed my body, my mind, and my character? Because the small things you do every single day become the big things you accomplish in your lifetime. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Just change one habit, then another. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. It's better to read 10 pages a day than to read 100 pages once a month. It's better to train for 30 minutes 5 days a week than to kill yourself once a month at the gym and quit. The compound effect always wins. Always. And here's the beauty of it. Habits don't care how you feel. You don't need to be inspired every day. You don't need a pep talk every morning. If you've built the right habits, they carry you even on the days when your motivation runs dry. So if you want to change your destiny, don't chase outcomes. Build systems. Wake up on purpose. Plan your day. Speak with intention. Do the hard thing first. Keep your promises to yourself, because your habits write the story of your life one page at a time. And if you don't like the story, change the pen you're writing with. Change your habits. Your destiny isn't out there waiting for you. It's in your hands right now in the form of what you choose to do next. Confidence is one of those invisible forces that changes everything. You can't hold it in your hand, you can't see it on a chart, but when it walks into a room, it's felt. And the best part, it spreads. Confidence is contagious. It affects the way people listen to you, trust you, and follow you. It opens doors that talent alone can't budge. But let's be clear, real confidence isn't arrogance. It's not loud, and it doesn't need to boast. Real confidence is quiet strength. It's the calm certainty that says, I've done the work. I've paid the price. I belong here. It doesn't beg for approval because it already has its own. Confidence is built, not born. You earn it every time you do the right thing when no one's watching, every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you show up even when you don't feel like it. That's where confidence comes from, consistency. You build it in the small moments and it shows up in the big ones. You want to influence people? Show them you believe in what you're doing. Speak with conviction. Carry yourself like someone who knows they're bringing value to the table. Because when you believe in you, others are more likely to believe in you too. People are drawn to someone who walks with purpose, someone who speaks with clarity, someone who acts with certainty. That energy spreads, it reassures, it inspires. Ever walk into a room where someone just owns the space? Not because they're the loudest, but because they're rooted, grounded. That's confidence. And here's the truth. The world treats you based on how you treat yourself. If you shrink, people will overlook you. If you doubt, people will hesitate. But if you walk in like you're supposed to be there, like you're prepared, like you've earned it, people lean in. And it's not just about you. Your confidence gives permission to others. It lifts people. It says, it's possible. You can do it too. That's why it's contagious. It doesn't just change your life. It starts to change the lives around you. It brings light into the room. It calms fear. It creates momentum. So don't wait to feel confident. Act with confidence and let the feeling catch up. Build it brick by brick. Learn something new. Master your craft. Keep your word. Take care of your health. Speak truth. Stand tall. The more you invest in yourself, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more you attract opportunity, trust, and influence. There's a popular phrase floating around these days, fake it till you make it. Sounds clever, maybe even a little bold. But here's the truth. Faking it might get you in the door, but it won't keep you in the room. You don't fake your way into lasting success. You build your way there. There's no need to pretend to be something you're not. There's power in being honest about where you are and then doing the work to become who you want to be. That's where real strength lives, not in the illusion, but in the progress. You want the respect? Earn it. You want the role? Prepare for it. You want the results? Show up every single day and build something solid, something real. Faking it is like building a house on sand. Sure, it might look good from the outside, but the first storm exposes everything, and life sends storms. Challenges, tests, obstacles, they're all coming. And when they do, only what's been built into will stand. What's fake crumbles. What's real grows stronger. You see, there's nothing wrong with starting small. There's nothing wrong with not knowing everything yet. But there is something wrong with pretending. Because while you're putting energy into maintaining the image, someone else is out there building the substance. And the substance always wins. If you want confidence, build competence. If you want influence, build integrity. If you want success, build discipline. There's no shortcut worth taking if it skips the part where you earn your stripes. Because when you build it, no one can take it from you. It's yours. You earned it. And here's the thing. There's something magnetic about people who are clearly becoming. You don't have to fake being finished. You just have to be real about being in process. That's more inspiring than any act. People can spot fake confidence from a mile away, but they'll follow someone who's authentic, humble, and working every day to grow. So instead of faking it, get better. Read the books. Study the craft. Put in the reps. Ask for feedback. Build the habits. Own the work. When you do, you don't have to convince people. You just show up, and your presence speaks for itself. Don't fake it. Build it. Brick by brick. Day by day. Build the mindset. Build the skills. Build the life. And when you arrive at your goal, you'll know you belong because you didn't pretend your way there. You ain't built your way there. And that's the kind of success no one can take away. There's a big difference between showing up and showing up with intent. A lot of people show up, they're present, their body's in the room, but their mind, their focus, their purpose, nowhere to be found. And that's the difference maker. It's not just about being there, it's about being on air on purpose. When you show up with intent, everything changes. You're not just clocking in, you're bringing value. You're not just attending the meeting, you're ready to contribute, ready to lead, ready to learn. Intent gives your time direction. It gives your effort meaning. Without it, you drift. With it, you advance. Life rewards those who are deliberate. People who walk into a room with clear intention, clear about who they are, what they're about, and what they came to do. Those people don't just take part, they make things happen. They don't wait to be told what's important. They show up already, knowing what matters. See, time is too valuable to waste on just being around. You've got to decide, why am I here today? What do I want to accomplish? What value am I bringing? Whether it's your job, your family, your goals, don't treat it like a routine. Treat it like a mission. Even how you start your day matters. Most people wake up and react. Emails, notifications, distractions. But when you live with intent, you take charge from the first moment. You wake up on purpose. You plan your priorities. You don't let the day decide for you. You decide for the day. And here's what happens when you live like that. People notice. They feel your focus. They feel your energy. You become the kind of person others trust because they know you're not just going through the motions. You're here to make a difference. And that kind of presence is rare. It's powerful. It's respected. Intent doesn't require perfection. It just requires clarity. You may not know every step, but you know why you're taking the next one. You don't have to be the smartest in the room, but you do need to be the one who shows up a ready percent. Ready to grow, ready to serve, ready to win. So ask yourself, every morning, every meeting, every project, am I showing up with purpose or am I just showing up? Because the future belongs to those who live on purpose. Not the ones who wait for a break, but the ones who show up like they're already holding the opportunity in their hands. That's intent. And that's where the momentum starts. Your words are more than just sounds. They're signals. They tell the world who you are, what you believe, and where you're going. Your language matters deeply. What you say, how you say it, and even what you say to yourself shapes your reality more than most people realize. Speak with doubt, and you'll live with hesitation. Speak with belief, and you'll move with conviction. The words you choose build the atmosphere you live in. And here's the truth. Every time you open your mouth, you're either reinforcing your power or weakening it. Some people walk around saying, I'm just not good at that. I'll probably mess it up. I'm always unlucky. And they think they're just being honest. But no, what they're doing is planting seeds. Seeds of limitation. Seeds of fear. Seeds that over time grow into a life that's stuck, small, and frustrated. And they never stop to realize they unspoke it into existence. Your language needs to align with the life you want, not the one you're trying to escape. Start saying things like, I'm getting better at this. Say I can figure it out. This is a challenge, but I'm learning. That's not lying to yourself, that's leading yourself. It matters because the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you're having in your own head. You want to lead others? Lead your mouth first. Leaders don't talk about how bad things are. They talk about what they're doing about it. They don't complain. They communicate. They don't gossip. They speak with clarity, with direction, with purpose. Because language doesn't just reflect your mindset, it takes shapes. Watch how successful people talk. They use words of responsibility, not blame. Words of possibility, not limitation. They speak as though their future is being built with every sentence, because it is. And it's not just about what you say to others. It's what you say to yourself quietly day after day. That inner dialogue is the architect of your confidence. You've got to speak life into your own vision. You've got to be the one who says, punt, let's go. We're capable. We're growing. We're not there yet, but we're on the way. Be intentional with your language. Speak like someone who's building something. Speak like someone who expects good things. Speak like someone who's not afraid to take responsibility for their future, because words are tools and they either build your dream or break it apart. Your language matters. It's not just communication, it's creation. So choose wisely, speak boldly, and let your words become the first evidence that you're already living with purpose. There's a point in life where everything starts to change, and it's the moment you stop pointing fingers and start pointing thumbs. When you stop saying, say did this to me, and start saying I allowed this, that's when you begin to take back control. That's the turning point. That's when growth begins. And the sooner you get there, the better. Take responsibility early, not someday, not when you're forced to, not when everything falls apart. Early, because the earlier you accept full responsibility for your choices, your habits, your results, the earlier you start building a life on a solid foundation. Most people wait. They wait for a crisis, a setback, a wake-up call. Then they finally say, all right, I need to change. But why wait for pain when you could grow through awareness? Why wait to lose what you value before you start valuing it properly? Responsibility is power. It doesn't weigh you down. It lifts you up. It puts the steering wheel of your life back in your hands. The moment you say, no more excuses, no more blaming. I'm responsible for where I am and I'm responsible for where I'm going. That's the moment you separate yourself from the crowd. Now let's be clear. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're to blame for everything that's ever happened to you. Life throws curveballs. People disappoint. Situations break down. But responsibility means ownership. Ownership of your response. Ownership of your attitude. Ownership of your next move. You can't change the past, but you can take responsibility for the lessons. You can't control the economy, but you can control your skills. You can't control what someone else does, but you can always control how you show up. And that's the mindset of a leader, a builder, a champion. Taking responsibility early gives you an edge. While others are busy waiting for motivation, you're already building discipline. While others are waiting for permission, you've already decided. While others are focused on what's fair, you're focused on what's possible. And that shift changes your whole trajectory. You want to be trusted? Take responsibility. You want to grow faster? Take responsibility. You want to become someone people look to for solutions, for leadership, for stability? It starts when you say, I don't need someone else to fix this. I'll start with me. Responsibility is the door, and on the other side of that door is freedom. Freedom to improve, to change, to succeed. So don't delay. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Take responsibility early and watch how quickly your life begins to rise. If you can see your future clearly, act accordingly on today. That's the key, because the future isn't some distant event. It's being built right now in the quiet, ordinary choices you make each day. The clearer you can see where you're going, the more power you have to align your steps with that vision. You've got to see it first. Not just wish for it, not just talk about it, see it with clarity, with detail, with emotion. Imagine the kind of life you want to live, the kind of person you want to become, the kind of impact you want to make. Picture it like it's already in motion, like it's already yours. And then, here's the real work, start living today like someone who's on their way there. You don't wait for the result to start acting like the person who earns it. You become that person first. If your vision includes being healthy, what would someone like that eat today? How would they move their body? What time would they go to bed? If your vision is to lead a team, how would a leader speak today? How would they listen? How would they show up when things get tough? That's alignment. And alignment creates momentum. Most people are all over the place. They say one thing, one another, and live a third way entirely. And they wonder why nothing's moving. It's because their habits don't match their vision. Their decisions don't reflect their destination. You want your future to come faster, align faster? Close the gap between what you say you want and how you actually behave. You can't see yourself in a mansion, but act like you're still living in the basement. You can't dream of owning a business, but spend every weekend like it's a vacation. If the dream is real, act like it. This doesn't mean pretending you're already there. It means honoring the future by preparing for it now. When you visualize properly, it's not daydreaming, it's strategy. You're creating a blueprint for your actions. You're building belief. You're training your mind to recognize what belongs in your life and what doesn't. Because once you see it, you stop tolerating things that don't fit. You stop entertaining distractions. You start protecting your energy. You make better choices, not because someone's watching, but because your future is. So visualize and align, see the life with clarity, then bring your words, your habits, your circle, your standards, all of it into agreement with that vision. When your today lines up with your tomorrow, that's when the shift happens. That's when you stop drifting and start driving. Because if you can see the future you want, that means it's possible. But if you want to reach it, you've got to live like it's already on the way, not later, not next year, now. Be the preview of your own future. That means live today like you're already becoming the person you were meant to be. Don't wait for success to arrive before you start carrying yourself with purpose. Don't wait for the applause before you bring excellence. You've got to be the evidence of your future before the future even shows up. Think about a movie trailer. It gives you a glimpse of what's coming. It says, here's the tone, here's the energy, here's the story. That's how your life works. Your habits, your attitude, your words, they're all a preview of the life you're building. People should be able to look at how you live today and say, see where this person is going. You don't attract the future you want. You attract the future you're ready for. Readiness is shown in how you live now. If you want to be successful, start acting like someone who respects their time, who learns every day, who shows up prepared. If you want wealth, act like someone who manages what they already have with wisdom and discipline. If you want to lead, begin by leading yourself, your thoughts, your choices, your emotions. You can't just talk about your future, you have to be about it. If your future is bright, show up with light today. If your future is strong, walk with strength today. If your future is impactful, serve with intention today, because if there's no sign of it now, it's not coming later. It's easy to say, "Taste one day, I'll be more focused. Can someday I'll be a better communicator. Can eventually I'll get serious." But the truth is, if you don't preview it now, you're not preparing for it, you're postponing it. And dreams that are always postponed often expire quietly. Not with a bang, but with a slow drift into regret. So become the trailer for your own story. Make people curious. Make them say, if this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see what's next. Walk into the room like you belong to the next level, not because you're pretending, but because you're becoming. You're training for it. You're aligning with it. You're living it. You don't have to fake success. You foreshadow it through your discipline, your decisions, your focus, your growth. You give a glimpse, a taste, a sample of where you're headed. And when you do that, the world starts to respond. Opportunities begin to show up. People take you seriously, not because you've made it, but because you're clearly at making it. So be the preview. Let today be the snapshot of your tomorrow. And when the full version arrives, no one will be surprised because they've already seen it in you. Be the preview of your own future. That means if someone looked at your life right now, your habits, your attitude, the way you carry yourself, they should be able to say, I can see where this person is headed. Your current actions should offer a glimpse of the future you're working toward. Not in theory, not just in your journal, but in your daily life. You've got to start being before you start becoming. Success isn't something that suddenly shows up one day and says, surprise, you've arrived. No, something you grow into. And the way you grow into it is by living like you're already becoming that person. Think of it like a movie trailer. A good trailer doesn't show you everything, but it gives you enough to get excited about what's coming. It's a promise, a statement, a taste of the full story. That's what your life should be. A preview of something greater on the way, something in development. something with purpose, with depth, with intention. If you want to be healthy and strong in the future, the preview is in what you eat today, how you move your body, how you prioritize rest. If you want to lead teams, build businesses, influence people, the preview is in how you show up for your current responsibilities, how you handle pressure, how you speak, how you think. If the future is excellent, today has to hint at it. Now, here's the catch. This isn't about pretending. You're not acting like someone you're not. You're simply living like the person you're becoming. There's a difference. You're building character before the title arrives. You're building discipline before the results show. You're showing signs of what's coming long before the world sees the whole picture. That's the beauty of it. You don't need recognition to live with integrity. You don't need a spotlight to practice excellence. You don't need applause to be consistent. You just need vision and alignment. Because when your habits line up with your hopes, the results start to become inevitable. The opposite is also true. If there's no preview, if your days are filled with excuses, distractions, laziness, don't be surprised if the future doesn't deliver what you hoped. Life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you prepare for, and preparation is proof of belief. So ask yourself, every single day, am I giving a strong preview of where I'm going? If you say you want to be a leader, are you leading yourself? If you say you want to be financially free, are you managing what you have wisely? If you say you want to live with purpose, are your days filled with meaningful effort? The future doesn't start on one day. It starts with this day, with how you rise in the morning, with how you speak to people, with how you treat your body, your mind, your time. Everything you do is either building a bridge to the life you want or building a wall that keeps you from it.